I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
There we go. The best we can do. Under the circumstances.
That's
Okay.
alright. Roll call him. He's got one. I've got one.
Let me see if anybody else needs agendas.
Todd's here.
Grab a chair. I got chairs in the back. Grab a chair.
A chair?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, no, it's the same F is all the way through and then Parker's.
All right. I brought proposals for the tables too.
So did Todd.
Oh, good. Okay, maybe we had enough then between us.
I will motion to approve today's agenda other than changing the date to the 24th instead of the 23rd on top.
Thank you.
I will second.
I don't know what calendar I was looking at, but
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Signing of per diem slips already done. Secretary's report?
None.
None. Treasurer's report?
Nothing out of the ordinary except for I know we got a couple of mulching bills. One for
Everybody's gonna need to be quiet to hear too.
we have a couple of bills from the Mulch King. One for brush from Carr, which was cleanup,
Okay.
and then we did some work on the landscape at Samaria, and then another bill from Mannequin Smith for the engineering fees for the master plan, totaling out to $3,211.16.
That was the final master plan bill.
That's everything. The final master plan bill. I'm not positive it's the final one,
Okay.
but it was for $2,089.
I will move to accept the treasurer's report
Second.
as stated. All in favor?
Aye.
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 I don't count.
Don't count. You count, but you can't
You can say aye if you want.
All right. I do not have a community education report,
I
and
did not go
Nancy's
either.
not here. I don't think. No. Okay. Presentations, none. Public comment, 2 minutes. Would anybody like to come up and do a public comment? Go ahead.
Just need you to state your name and address.
Steve Solinsky, 4540 School Route, Temperance Road, 48182.
The floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. We've all gathered here. These are all the pickleball players. We understand.
We can't hear you.
We understand that the board is going to be bringing up an engineering cost, and it's going to be voted on today. And so we wanted to show up for our support in favor of that. So what I want to say is that first of all, I wanted to thank you for all you guys, what you do, for our parks. We have some very beautiful parks here. This being one of them. I've walked these parks, this park especially. Thank you for the equipment box that was provided to us to store temporary pickleball nets that Community Ed so graciously let us use. Thank you to all the citizens who filled out the park board survey back in the fall. Thank you. Woo-hoo! The Bedford community voted to have permanent pickleball courts at both Carr Park and White Park. Currently, there are 12 permanent tennis courts in Bedford and only 2 permanent pickleball courts. Pickleball is the fastest growing sport in the world. It's everywhere. Even our Subway in Lambertville sells a pickleball sub. That's just how popular it is. It's been proven pickleball brings people together. People come from all over to play in Bedford and then spend money in our community. People play pickleball not only in our community pickleball group, which is most of the people, but a lot of other people here are just families and members who play pickleball outside of our group. But unfortunately for many, with only 2 permanent pickleball courts, they don't always get to play because there are people using the courts. Please vote to move pickleball forward in our community. It sure would be great to have a park board meeting in the future held on the new pickleball courts at Carr Park. Thank you for letting me speak today.
Thanks,
All
Steve.
right, thank
Thank you.
you. Anyone else?
You wrote that out in time for two.
Anyone? No? All right. Okay, we'll move on to 10A, approval of the sale of park property. Anybody want to talk to that?
I would. We tabled it till we knew what was going on.
Okay.
Sorry, what is it?
Sale of park property
Oh, okay.
So,
is the
did,
lawyer here.
did you want to say a little bit about the park property, which one we're talking about? And
Yeah, I can
Okay,
do that. So
thanks.
Chris reached out to me to determine whether or not Lot 72 of Covered Bridge Estates could be sold by the township and the park commission. And there was an audit of park property done quite a few years ago, and Lot 72, actually Lot 71 and Lot 72 were among those lots that could be sold in the inventory of Bedford Township property. There's no restriction in the recorded plat that would prevent the sale of Lot 72. The question came up whether or not it's a buildable lot, which would dictate in large part what the value of that lot would be. So I did some research. That lot is adjacent to Indian Creek. There is a floodplain there which does restrict, would restrict where the building envelope could be located. I spoke to a representative, Tim Sergo from the Drain Commission, the Deputy Drain Commissioner. He verified the existence of a drain right-of-way, which is 99 feet. It goes from the center of Indian Creek both directions. It can't be built, there's no building within that right-of-way that the Drain Commissioner has. That's a recorded right-of-way for the Indian Creek, also known as the Indian Creek Drain, which meanders out and actually empties into Lake Erie. So it can be sold. There was a next door neighbor, actually the Lot 71, which was sold many years ago, and a house was built on Lot 71. That owner, current owner, is interested in purchasing. I think they may have offered or suggested a purchase price of $10,000. That's, in my opinion, too low. I talked to Tony Mayard, our assessor. He gave me an opinion which is probably on the high side because of the restrictions on that lot, which reduces the building envelope. So the long and short of it is, it's worth more than 10. It may be worth in the somewhere in the $20,000 to $30,000 range, but I would suggest that the appropriate way to go about this is the Park Commission could adopt a resolution to sell and to advertise it for bids. It would then go to the Township Board. The Township Board would approve that, and then through the clerk's office, you could let bids on the property probably with a minimum bid price and see what interest it would draw. Back when Lot 71 sold, there was no interest in Lot 72. I think because people thought that it was not buildable. It would certainly be of value to the owner of Lot 71. The two lots could be attached through a combination agreement and could possibly be used to build an accessory building for the benefit of the house, the principal dwelling unit on Lot 71. That's still a possibility, but I think they would have to offer more than the $10,000 that was talked about. So my advice to you, if you want to move forward and sell and I could prepare this for you, a resolution to advertise for bids and to sell Lot 72 of Covered Bridge Estates, go to the Township Board, and I don't think there will be an issue with the Township Board approving it. Right now it's being insured and maintained, and it's not being used as a park. It hasn't been used as a park for many, many years. I lived in Covered Bridge Estates for 20 years, 40 years ago, and it wasn't being used at that time. So, having said all of that, you're free to move forward if you so desire to advertise it for sale, adopt a resolution, send it to the township board, and go from there. I can.
We have to have you write the resolution and then we vote on the resolution.
Yeah, it would probably be better. When's your next meeting? Because I can have a resolution prepared, have it to you, and you could consider that and vote to adopt the resolution, to advertise it for sale, and send it to the township board.
August 7th.
Yeah, no problem. I can have your resolution.
14th is the first,
Okay,
or the second.
okay. If you want to proceed, I'll prepare the resolution and provide it to you.
Do we take a vote for that? I vote that we let,
Are you motioning?
I'm motioning to let Phil go ahead and prepare the resolution for us.
A second.
Vote second, okay, all in favor? Aye?
Aye.
Aye.
All right,
You might want to take a roll call vote since it's going to be,
well, we sort of did.
okay, all right.
We all
all
said
right.
individually.
Because it's selling property,
Right.
that's why.
Right.
Okay,
So
all
three
right.
of us. All right.
Any
Phil,
other issues?
I was going to say, why don't you stay for the next one, the baseball contracts, just in case
Oh,
there's a
yeah,
question
sure.
about that.
Be happy to.
Appreciate it. Okay.
All right, thank you.
So we've got 10B, approval of baseball contracts, update, collection of overdue fees. Anybody can speak to that? Chaz, you know what's going on
Yeah,
with
the
that?
contracts are still under review.
The contract's still under review, is that it? Okay. Have you spoken to anybody at 3B, White Park,
As far as what?
as far as the fees?
Nope.
Nothing?
Nope.
Okay.
We didn't send them a bill, so it's not our gig.
Okay.
We've talked about several times about how we don't think that we need to send them a bill. They're providing the community a great service by maintaining
of
that park that would turn
money
into
they put
Indian
into
Creek
it.
if they weren't.
Well, and that's what we agreed to. We thought
Correct.
that was going
And then
to,
the township took it upon
They-
themselves to send them a lawyered bill that you got a copy of before anybody
yeah,
else.
yeah. Then the township
You
said,
knew was coming.
the
You wrote.
township said that we can't do that because they can't pay for that.
Well, it's not just that, there is a written contract. I mean, it's,
There is. I don't argue that fact.
yeah, it's,
So I'll just add this for
Go ahead.
your consideration. The contracts, the contract that's in force and in effect, and the contracts that preceded that, all required 3B Baseball to pay the utilities that they used for their use of White Park. It's contrary to and against Department of Treasury rules and regulations for Bedford Township or the Park Commission to pay someone else's expenses. That's a violation of Michigan Department of Treasury regulations. So if you're going to continue that contract, they need to pay the utilities for the operation of their lights, for the operation or for their water consumption, and sewer consumption if there is sewer consumption there. So it's gone on for a while. It's reached now a point of around $9,000, and so you'll have to figure it out. The Park Commission will have to figure it out, but the townships can't pay it, nor can you. So you need to, I think, evaluate that in light of the work that they do to maintain the park. They maintain the park, and I think they do a great job of it, and they use it, and it's a great service to the youth of our community. However, they have the exclusive use of that facility for the time period that they use it. I don't think it's too much to ask for them to pay the utilities that they consume. Well, it's
They facilitate it, they schedule it, but they do not use it exclusively.
But in the past, they have used it exclusively. I mean, this year, no. This year and last
Well,
year, we've had softball and
everything
some
with
others, but-
utilities they do use exclusively though.
No.
No.
Concessions, somebody else uses the concession stands.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
lights.
They
And
open it
I
up and
drove
allow
past
all
and-
the people playing. Yeah.
The girls volleyball, or
Really?
volleyball, softball had
Softball.
night games on the corner
Really?
lots and the lights were on.
So, going forward, if that's the case, then that should be separated out. I don't disagree with that. If they're not consuming the totality of what's being charged for utilities, then there either needs to be a subcontract or it needs to be separated out, or the park commission should enter into a separate contract with the girls softball teams that use it or any other team that might use it and consume energy at the park. But so that can be looked into, but it's going to have to be paid by those who use it, not the township.
So next steps would be have Bob bill them, I'm guessing?
Bob, Bill,
Bill the 3B baseball?
we've already done that.
You've already done that?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
All right.
it was sent, I had a conversation with the president.
Okay,
He said they were gonna have a board meeting and he would reply to me. That was a week or two ago. I haven't heard back from him.
Okay.
Maybe he's had conversations with Chaz or someone else on the park commission, I don't know. I've not heard back from him. I had a very pleasant conversation with him. He understood, he was gonna take it up with the board.
okay.
And so that's where we're
it's
at. The contracts are at the township hall in the clerk's office. They've been there probably for 3 or 4 months. So at your pleasure, sooner the better, I guess, to get that behind us.
Okay.
Anything else you might want me for tonight?
I don't think so. Thank you. I appreciate you
Okay,
coming, Phil.
all right, you're welcome. You got a great night for this.
It
Thanks,
is.
Phil.
Thanks, Phil.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thanks, we'll see you.
All right, so do we want to table the discussion since we
Yeah,
don't?
the contracts, I need to finish going through them.
Okay, all right.
Phil had them for about 4 or 5 months and changed the date on them. So
I motion
need
to table
complete going through them.
I motion to table approval of baseball contract updates until our August 14th meeting.
Second.
All in favor? Aye?
Aye.
Okay. All right. Next thing I have is the tables, and I know you've got some also.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll pass these around. These are the lifetime tables. The top one is like what the library uses. There's a, let's see if I can find that piece of paper.
I got the quote for the tables for library, what you
Okay,
have right here.
that's it. Great, okay. I think that's included on there. So this is the quote the libraries went
One at a
through.
time, Carol. One at a time.
The lifetime tables, they're 10 72-inch round, $4,000 for 10 of them. The 10 8-foot rectangular, $2,000. All right. The cart to put those round tables on is $450. All right. So you're talking $6,450 for those particular tables. Those are the kind the library uses. I've personally used those things when I worked for the library. They stand up well. You can put hot plates on them. They don't melt. I would suggest we go with those.
Okay.
The top one there is a bundle. For $150 more, you get 2 more tables. And the cart's thrown in. So you get the cart, you get 12 tables, and the 10 rectangular for $6,600 minus, instead of the $6,450. So I would say go with the bundle.
Yep.
We can take those other 2 tables, put them at Samaria, we could put them in the office, we could do,
Well, they can go in the barn until one gets
Right.
damaged. And
Yep.
Until
and
you-
I was
swap
saying,
it out
seating
while we have
capacity wise,
warranty.
you only need the 10.
right. And plus, this is a lifetime guarantee, so if anything does go wrong, you call them and they will replace tops, legs, whatever needs to be done.
Are these the white tables?
You know, these are the
So
white,
it'll be a
they're
lot
kind of
lighter.
granite, they call them, granite white. So, that would be my suggestion. There's also a Costco table, which is much cheaper. It's made by the same company,
Yep.
but they're out of stock.
Yep.
And
I
the
was
legs are not the
found
same.
6 months ago that they're out of stock, and who knows?
The legs are not the same. The legs are like your card table legs where you press and put one at a time up. I don't think it's as sturdy as the commercial one. There's also
All right, I'm
the,
gonna save a bunch of time because we've already spent I don't know how many meetings,
Todd's
how
got
many
one,
quotes,
too.
and how many
It's-
things
it's the
on
same
tables.
one.
Same
It's
one.
the same one.
I got this
I'm
tabled.
motioning for the same tables as the library,
Well, this
and
is-
the township can approve it from
This is
there.
what you guys
because
are
we gave
gonna
it
have to
them.
do, because at the last township meeting, which I wasn't at, that's where you presented,
Yep.
you came with one bid. That's why it didn't get approved.
Came with one bid and explanations to where I had
But-
2
why?
other bids
but the- like
that were
the-
out of stock and not able to be
But the
purchased
whole,
anyway.
like the first time it came when Carol sent the bid, she had 3 bids, but then none of the quotes
didn't match
matched.
up.
So that got like turned down. So then when you showed up, I told you, all right, you need to do it. One of you guys need to show up, present. Yeah, you showed up and presented, but you had 1 quote.
And I gave them all the
So
info they needed
that's
for the
why
other
that
quotes
got
that
turned
weren't
down.
in stock.
So I got it tabled until our next board meeting. So that's why I brought this. So you guys decide what tables you want. It's going to be on the agenda. I have it tabled for the agenda. So one of you guys need to show up. I'm going to give you this also. This has all the other quotes from the other things. So show up with 3 quotes. Here's bids and everything else.
Okay.
And then say you want the lifetime, the ones that the library has. So you have 3 bids now, so that's not going to be a problem.
Right.
It's the lifetime tables. It's the same ones the library uses. So it should sail right through.
Okay, and the next meeting is?
I wrote it down. I think it's August 2nd. Is it August?
1st.
When?
August 1st.
August 1st.
So one of us has to be there August.
Yeah, one of you guys need to be there.
Okay,
I won't be in town.
that's right. I guess it'll be me, unless anybody else volunteers.
I already did it.
So
All
you
right,
can
August
even
1st.
use that packet I gave you, Carol. The bids are in it, the quotes are in it, everything is in it.
All right.
You're just gonna
thank you.
have to add, because you're adding extra tables.
Because we're adding 2 extra tables.
Just-
Special bundle,
Exact, just make
So
sure
it's all
that matches.
okay?
If
All
you have
right,
any
thank you.
questions or need anything beforehand, call me.
Okay, we should be good. We should be good. Okay, so I got a motion for the tables.
I'll
yes?
second.
The lifetime tables
Yep,
at the
lifetime
library.
tables. Chris seconds, all in favor? Aye.
That's a
Aye.
money thing.
Okay, me, Carol says aye.
Aye.
Chris, Andrew, Chaz?
Fine.
Okay. And done.
What was the total on it?
64.50.
What's total?
What was the total?
Oh,
on
the
it?
total? 66.
66. It was 64.
6,600.
But you guys may be adding to that, right?
No, I think that's it.
Okay.
That's all the
Are these
tables.
ones
I
that
think we're
Andy
good with
found?
that.
I have no idea. Man. Could be tight.
So. All right, pickleball update.
This one in particular, Carol found. But it's the same as what Todd brought.
The difference is the bundle.
Yeah.
I mean, the bundle is the only difference. So, anybody have
So,
anything on the pickleball
yes,
courts?
I
Okay.
have been working on attempting to get bids for engineering, for planning, for bid specs, and to oversee the project of the pickleball court and tennis court project for Car Park to remove all the courts that are existing at Car Park and replace with all new, which would be 6 pickleball courts, 1 tennis court, all new fencing, which would be 10-foot high black vinyl coated chain link fencing, to do all the topographical maps, planning and spec and bid work. Mannequin Smith has given us a bid for, I believe it is $10,500, which could change if we make a bunch of changes and cause delays and make them spend extra time beyond what is planned.
So are
I
they?
believe, is Lucy here?
I don't think Lucy's here.
No. Okay.
Are they tearing out the old?
So they're
That
not.
10.5 is simply for
this is-
Mannequin Smith to manage and oversee
Oversee
a bid
Got
for
it.
this project.
Got it.
the-
Yeah.
It's not
manage
any
the
work.
project.
Not any work.
So no, there is work.
Well,
Okay.
Doing all the drainage, planning,
Right.
and everything of that. sort.
Drawing it out, not actually
Not-
doing
No,
it.
actually doing topographical maps of the property and setting where the elevation is supposed to be for the course. and-
drawings. It's not. I'm talking like the
They're not
physical
gonna pick up a
labor
shovel.
Oh
outside.
no, there's no.
Right.
They're not putting a shovel in the
Right.
ground. No.
Right.
So no, that's for
Preliminary.
that's for engineering work only.
Okay, Chris, what do you want to do?
I would like to hire Mannequin Smith to oversee the project, but at the same time also plan to allocate our assigned park fund of roughly $230,000 towards the project. I'm not sure that amount is going to be fully needed for the project, but with the way prices of things have gone in the past few years here, I would feel comfortable with that money sitting there for that project, just in case. So
that's your proposal.
yes.
I'll second.
I'll do it. Thank you.
It's up there.
All right.
What an adventure
Grab
that
a
was
chair.
to
I
get
got
here.
chairs in the back of my car over there.
It's okay. I'm
All
gonna
right,
sit with
all right.
Chaz.
Okay.
We won-
Hold on, I'm
we
just
won
trying to
with
write this and get it
All
right.
right, well, you get it right, and then we'll vote on it.
So, but this also is for inspections during the process of construction and after, and to ensure the project goes as planned. And with it being spec'd out this way with the topographical maps, everybody's going to be bidding the exact same project and the exact same scope of work.
So Aaron, we've got a motion on the table. Did you want to explain it again real quick?
We have a motion on the
Okay,
table to
yeah.
approve hiring Manikin Smith for $10,500 to engineer and oversee the construction of the pickleball and tennis courts at Carr Park.
And I seconded, and
And you guys, you're going through the RER, right? Okay, so we have $23,000 left in the general maintenance fund, and we have $50,000 in the capital outlay. Okay, so I don't know where $10,000 is gonna come from, but you're not gonna have enough to do that and fix the roof at Carr Park that's leaking. Okay, we had estimates, Andrew and I both got estimates of asphalt and concrete, just to replace in kind. Not remove the fence, not expand it, just tear out and replace what was there. And where were we at? 80, 90,000?
My one bid was 98,000.
$98,000, so $100,000. So you're gonna spend 10% having these guys draw it up, which if you vote and wanna do it, that's fine. But I don't know where that money's gonna come from. You're gonna draw it up, it's gonna sit there, then you're gonna end up redrawing it. If we had ARPA funds, if we had a commitment that they would give us the money for the project, it'd be completely different. But we don't have the funds to pull this out of our pocket.
And I'm, to kind of piggyback on it and make note for my record, I am 100% on board and totally in with, if we're going to do the project, Manikin Smith's going to oversee it. I'll make sure it's done properly.
do it
We
right.
have
The problem is our
$230,000 in our assigned park fund still.
And you have to keep half of that.
No, we don't have to keep any of it anymore.
Okay.
We're not responsible for that. They've been very clear that we're not responsible
Okay.
for that anymore. The problem we have now is our money no longer rolls over.
Okay.
So that's where the misconception with the rainy day fund was.
Right.
So we have what rainy day fund we did have. It's just called the assigned park fund now. But at the end of the budget year,
Right.
we no longer roll into that fund. That money just goes back to the main township board. So this year, I believe we left about $106,000 on the table. That just went back to the general fund.
Yeah. 106,
Which we tried to
266.
spend.
Yes.
We tried to get tables purchased and things done. and
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Couldn't spend it.
Right. We weren't allowed to spend our
Well,
money.
I tried getting this done before the fiscal year ended.
I know.
okay, so the motion is on the table. Carol votes yes. Chris?
Yes.
Andrew?
Strictly what I'm saying, to hire Manikin Smith for
Yep.
overseeing car court process at $10,500, the remodel and construction.
Yes.
I vote for that, yes.
Aaron?
Yes.
Chaz?
No.
No.
We give
Okay.
Manikin Smith too much money without checking with other sources.
4-1. Motion passes. Okay, roof leak at Carr.
That has to go to the
Thank you.
township board.
Yes.
God, can you get that on the agenda? I'll be there for it.
What is it?
That's the motion to do the
We approved this, but it's for
Manikin
over
Smith
$1,500.
oversee that. They do all the engineering.
And I'll also bring up that because that's the main township's board to bring
Well,
up
if that's the next
engineering and
township
do all
meeting, I'll
that
be
stuff.
We don't have to.
Well, I
use
gotta get it on the agenda.
We don't have to.
Yeah, he has it on the
I'll
agenda.
give it
But I
to
can't get anybody
Trudy
else to do it.
tomorrow.
Yeah, that's
I
the issue.
Have her
I haven't
call me
made
if she's
any
got a
calls.
problem.
Exactly what we
They've
were
got
going
something
to
going on in the morning. but I
No,
can
we
talk
just
to them.
never bothered with engineers.
I get calls back,
When we were
but
replacing
then
the
after
tile.
that,
Right.
nothing. So,
All right, so
but
we
they
have,
haven't bid it out since 2015. I looked into it, and that's the main township board's job is to
Yeah.
assess
Well,
things like that.
It'll be Lucy again, and we'll be able to meet with her and talk with her through the process. At least there's familiarity.
It
Whatever.
might not be Lucy, it could be another
it might not be.
one. Construction.
Okay, fair
There's
enough.
some other engineers on the board there, so.
But they'll make themselves available.
All right.
And all that good stuff. We hope.
So, roof leak.
All right, so we've got two estimates, or two,
No, roof leak at Carr. We went out and got 2 estimates, but both estimates are above the threshold of $20,000, which it needs to go out for public bid.
right?
Andrew
For the
got
full replacement.
for full replacement and also replacement of the east troughs and downspouts at the same time.
I would be, first off, I would be surprised if there isn't some sort of an emergency, it's getting damaged, we can spend emergency money.
They couldn't
to
find
get
any
fixed.
leaks.
So yeah, I had
We
Holt
sent
roofing
Holt
out
out there.
local, and he inspected the whole thing. There's no
Yeah, because he
one-
inspected it, what, a year, 2
Yep.
years ago?
and was for the time being fine, but it was in the time frame of it's going to need replacement.
Oh.
So that's where we know we're in a window of it was within a 2-year window of needing a replacement as is.
Okay.
So now that there's a leak occurring, I told him if you can't find anything specific, well then give him a bid for full replacement. Holt provided us with 3 different price ranges and 3 different kind of options.
Can you just tar it?
No. It's the membrane that's up there is an old, they don't even make it anymore. And Holt said like it basically it'll seep water. They don't use that, they don't make it anymore. Is it your best bet to turn that out and getting it put on?
So you're gonna bring in Mannequin Smith then to tell you what you need to do to it?
Not on that.
Not on it.
No? You guys trust yourselves as roofers, but not concrete guys? I'm just saying.
100%. I trust a roofer. One that I know
Okay.
too.
Okay.
So let's talk it out. Do we have a recommendation out of the 3, or we need another bid?
Well, no,
anyway?
we got to put it out for bid.
Right.
We have to go to
we
public
can't.
bid.
No, it has to go to sealed bids.
Both of them
So
are over
which-
20K.
But they're talking about different things. So what
They
do we
are.
want to include on our bid? What are we asking for?
Who's gonna be the engineer?
The
Full replacement.
Yeah.
Full replacement.
Removal and replacement of the roof at the Car Park Community Center Hall.
Okay.
That's a motion. That's a motion. I motion to put out for bid to seek a contractor to remove and replace the roof at the community center at Car Park.
Okay, I'll second.
Aye.
Aye?
Aye.
This costs no money, right?
No, it's just
Aye.
put out public bid for
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
replacement.
Yeah.
We found the numbers were over the threshold. We can't just go off theirs.
Good. Motion passes. Thank you. Excess water usage at Cars Grove and White Parks. What do we know about that?
So at Car, I went over there with Pat. I mean, Adam went over there a couple times. I went over. The meter isn't running. So I'm assuming maybe somebody left a sink on at a rental, and then the next rental came in, or somebody came in and shut it off, and just nobody said anything, or
The
a
cleaning
toilet
people
got
should have
stuck.
seen it that night.
What?
The cleaning
Cleaning
people
people
should
would
have
have
seen
saw
it
it
that
that
night.
night.
They
So I
should've.
don't put much water, no pun.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
put much
yeah.
weight in that, or water in that.
Did we ever turn the sprinklers back on?
Yes.
Those lines were turned on.
But they're off.
But
They're off
the
though.
meter's not running.
The meter's not even running when we're
So
over
they're
there.
off?
How much water are we talking?
About 36,000 gallons.
How do they know if their meter's not?
That's
That's excessive.
Same as White Park's the same. 30. I think one's 35,000, one was 36,000.
Did you check the meter against the actual paper, against our last invoice?
No, I did not.
Because that's a hell of a coincidence.
Well, didn't
if
you say
both
the meter's
parks that
not
have water
running?
happen to magically be
Yeah.
36. It's electronic. Maybe there's a glitch in the system or something. But for both of them to be 36,000 gallons over, White Park was a leaky toilet
Okay.
that they had a plumber come out and replace.
All right.
They fixed it. They were turning it off at the wall. Apparently, turning it off at the wall didn't hold or something like that, and so they ended up just replacing the whole toilet.
Okay.
But
Not 36,000.
not
gallons
36,000 gallons in 1 month, I wouldn't think. And for it to be both parks, that's a heck of a coincidence.
Yeah.
What's the
Can you
estimated?
pull the last 2?
Yeah, I can get them pulled up.
Yeah. Yeah, unless it's
What's the
estimated.
estimated bill they do something?
Just double check. You gonna table this till next?
For the
meeting?
last
Yep.
for the last 3 years, every year
We have an issue in this about this time.
at Car Park, maintenance turns on the sprinklers. We get an excessive bill. Say, why the hell did we turn the sprinklers on? There's a leak. Turn them off. Everything's fine. Then next year, maintenance turns the sprinklers on. We get an excessive bill.
So isn't
There's
it
got to
that
be a
again?
leak in the sprinkler
Yeah,
system.
isn't it just that? Are we?
That's even excessive for a sprinkler system, though.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, it is.
I mean, there's got to
It
be
is,
something
and you
else
would
going on.
notice a soggy ground, or you would notice it bubbling up, or something like that. But I think unless, and we talked about this when we closed it
Not
down in the fall,
necessarily.
we shouldn't turn them on until we get them pressure tested, until we get them checked out by Bliss or something. But maintenance just out of habit, and it's what they do. They just go over and automatically turn them on and think it's okay.
Well, we were told they were inspected because we had a
Bliss
$30
turned
charge
them
for
on. They had
Bliss.
Bliss
Just turned them on this year.
Remember?
And
Yeah, but they just turned them on. I don't
And
think
had a
they
note
actually
on
walked
each
them
one that
down.
said
They
no
walked them
repairs
and it's good.
necessary.
Oh,
No
did they?
repairs necessary, yeah.
Well, then we should talk to Bliss and find out.
Or I first I pull the bills to match the numbers up.
Yeah.
See because they're eerily similar.
Okay, all right. Let's go on to the parks update. Anstead Park, or Anstead Preserve, I've got nothing new going on there. We need to get in there and they need to spray for invasive species, but that's the only thing on the agenda for the rest of this year. Cars Grove, we got the roof problem,
It's already, everything for cars already been discussed.
I think so. I don't think
The only thing is I have that one, I haven't gone in township to do a refund request thing for that guy. If
Oh, okay.
somebody can knock that out
I did a check request the other day.
for John.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, then it's,
All right,
that's handled.
great.
it's handled. That's what was on my list.
All right, Parmalee,
I've been going there. No news is good news, right? Nobody's heard anything. It's clean,
Haven't
cleaner
heard
than
anything.
usual. So
okay.
I think we're good.
The barrier's still working out well.
No, that's the biggest achievement of my life. Kidding me?
Your kids are listening.
I know. Right? No, those are great. Those are awesome.
Good.
They work great.
Yeah.
All right.
And
Samaria,
Extra parking.
Nothing new.
nothing new on Samaria. All right. White Park, anything else, Chaz?
Yeah, White Park, Carol, those pavilion, they are switched. Somebody had one stickers that they had put on the metal structure, the northernmost structure. They've been there for 100 years. I never saw them. They're just little black stickers that say number 1 on each column.
I thought there was a plaque.
I don't know, but I'm
facing
fixing it.
north. Okay.
It's easier to fix it but with a scraper than it is to
Okay.
fix it on the
So are there
computer.
other numbers on there and those?
There's one on the one, yeah.
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 Got a good number.
So they were switched. So 2 is 1, 1 is 2, but I'm fixing it.
All right. Good.
I got a price from a local company to finish the painting of the fence.
You finally did find somebody.
I did.
Good.
And their price, I got 4 different prices from them for different things. One of their prices is great, and I'll bring to next meeting. The other 3 are excessive and we won't bother with.
Okay. All right, Wheeler Preserve, we've still got that issue with the tree. There's a piece of property that the owner says one of our trees has died, and it's hanging over his property. He's afraid it's going to come down. Maintenance looked at it, they can't take it down. I called 3 different tree companies, only 1 responded, and they said they can't do it. They don't have the equipment, it's too big. The other 2 didn't bother, so I've got to call some more tree companies. You guys know anybody with a really, really large cherry picker to get up
It's
in
right
there?
back there. We can go look after.
You gotta, we can go look at it after. Yeah, it's right off the trail on the other side there.
See what we can come up with.
So we gotta come up with some other, few other names of companies, because the ones I tried did good. All right, anything else on the pocket parks, Aaron? Have you had a chance?
No, everything looks.
Yeah.
Nobody uses them except the one.
I got one for you. Actually, I got 2 for you. Does anybody know anything about us being given that piece of property in front of Kroger on Stearns?
Nope.
It's not supposed to be ours. That was put in by the DDA. That was a DDA
Okay.
thing back in,
Okay, because
2018,
the rumor
19,
I
something like
heard
that.
was that it was becoming a Bedford Park, and maintenance has been over there hauling River Rock for the last.
Oh, they've cleaned
No,
up.
Maintenance
somebody else's.
maintains it.
No, they hired a contract through the River Rock, but I guess maintenance started cutting it a couple of weeks ago.
So that's not
And
a
Paul
park.
just got the pumps replaced there and all that.
that's never been a
Rebuilt.
park.
It's not
So
a.
if they,
It's not a
if they
listed park.
Yeah.
give it to us, that's news to me, because it's never been a park.
And I've never seen anybody there.
It was always the
So-
DDA.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, what about mulch? I've heard that different people have talked to our mulch supplier about, oh, we're going to need 50,000 yards of mulch or 10,000 yards of mulch because we have to redo all the parks.
I said for spring there's going to be.
Yeah, I got
it's
a,
like
I got
2 to
a,
3
I got
year
a price
cycle.
from
We
them.
did it 2
I've got
years
a
ago.
price from Mulch King for mulch.
Yep.
Okay.
Nazareth. I
I
was
also
gonna go
called
get a
him to
third.
talk
I
with
haven't
them.
been.
Okay.
But
rushing
this
on
is
it.
not the playground mulch, right?
No,
Yes.
playground
This
mulch.
is
That
the
is
playground
playground
mulch.
Playground mulch.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's why we need to communicate better
Right.
because you're
Yeah.
both doing the same thing
right.
I
and
did
nobody
talk
knows
with him.
what's going on. So.
Yeah, we talked about
We
it.
knew
Okay.
it was going on.
Okay.
Yeah, I never told
It's,
him that
it's
we were. Never told him.
future foreseen and foresight asking if it would
Because
be
he was
better
getting
to-
ready to grind it up.
I didn't
Yeah,
tell him
I
anything on
only
an
got
approval or
prices.
anything. I
Only-
wanted a
I-
price
yeah.
because I said, would it be more worthwhile for us to potentially look at doing it this fall
Right.
and then having it go through the winter, or
And you're planning on
does he
having him
drastically
spread it,
No.
no,
No.
right?
or volunteer to
Because
do
he
that?
he
Oh,
wants
okay.
he wants a
What
large
about-
amount of money
Because
to
that
spend.
costs a lot more. But he said price really
Why
is,
did, we
unless
just
something
did this. Why do we
crazy.
have to do it again?
Because
2
for
years
some
ago.
reason the mulch deteriorated
year.
faster than the.
Last year, right?
So 1 year.
For some reason
would
the
be
mulch
the second
deteriorated
year.
faster
Exactly.
than playground mulch normally would.
And the 400 total we got 100 went to Samaria, 100 to Card, 200 to White. At that point, we could have gotten another 400 alone for White
Yeah.
to actually bring it up to a full level. It was that
Okay.
low.
Okay, how much was that? Do you remember?
It was 25 a
$10,000,
yard, 10,000 for the 400.
which is what they still
Which
want. I
pricing
got
is
the
still
price
right
from
at the same
Mazarets at
number.
25 a yard delivered,
Okay.
and mulch came for
Okay.
25 a yard as well.
So we're looking at the same range, same pricing, so we can
But not till
future
the spring.
forecast and plan. Yep. Unless something drastic changes, pricing won't change.
Okay.
We can plan spring, get a volunteer day built and put together so we have enough people to spread it and go and we don't pay that cost.
Yeah, because for a while, he was going to spread it for the same cost.
I spoke with him
No
about
additional
that, and that
cost.
was not the
Yeah.
deal. He said that
Okay.
he would, spread it for. It was quite a bit of money that he was going to spread it for, and then maybe donate $5,000 back to the parks.
Okay.
Or something along those lines, but it was never going to be
It's
spread
going
it
to
for
be
the
an initial
price.
cost, yeah.
Because I asked when I was getting the price from him. I asked about that
Okay.
with high hopes.
All right, let's move on to
Yep.
the comments from the public then. Anybody else have any comments?
Where do you want us to go, for God's sakes, Lori?
Right over
Right over there, Gail. Front center.
Where the sun can
I'm not
shine
used to
down.
this format. Usually there's a table and chair. Gail Kane, 1056 West Temperance. Pardon me if I make some mistakes, because it was really hard to hear you guys. I love the park, but the hearing is bad here. First off, I wanted to say that I had gone to the township meeting and did what you guys asked, so to speak, which is the public speaking out for the parks, and was accused and labeled and named and yelled at the township meeting for making myself a liaison. That's not what any of the public is. The public needs to be coming. I was the only person who did a survey 10 years ago for the parks. I did do this one, as you know, but I spoke for what we heard at the last meeting. And of course, I was told that everything I said was a lie. So I have challenged that because that's not my goal. I don't lie. I have an opinion and I'm allowed it. And I will continue to have an opinion. I've lived here far too many years. We're talking half a century. The one thing that we need to worry about is that Pearl Albert Pocket Park. That is a township park. And if you look on your list, your pocket parks are not all park owned. They are owned by the township and they have been given to you to oversee. So that may be where that's coming, because we've been going to the DDA meeting and there's all kinds of things going on there. Mulch, you should get bids. The township should be bidding out engineering, and you guys should do it too. You've got one hand in a very deep pocket, and both of their pockets are being filled on a regular basis. So they really should be bid out. That's just my take on it. The road commission had some engineering work done, and the person actually gave of his time because of what it was for. So, this is what you guys need to do. I'm sorry, but a roof comes prior to pickleball courts. We got to get through winter. So the roofs need to be sturdy and secure. And I understand that if the groups want to have something, we're talking the number of courts on park property, not the school property, just park property, because 90% of your churches all have their own pickleball courts now. They all have their own ball diamonds and all that other stuff they try to provide for their congregations. So that's what we have to look at. We can't sell our parks to one particular group and then you guys have got public coming and complaining because the tournament doesn't allow them when they want to have some weekend time to play on these courts. So I'm not against any of it, but this is the way it is. We have to be very careful. And you know that I've been a huge advocate for you guys, fighting on one end of this place to the other, and I will continue to do just that. So are you going to speak to that statement? The policy, the township policy.
Right here.
Okay, so he's going to speak to some of the stuff that we uncovered just checking things out, which we were kind of impressed with. So that's all. I will see you at the next meeting.
Lamar Frederick, 3254 Deer Creek Drive. As you know, I attend a lot of meetings. I attend board meetings, the DDA here, I learn a lot more than going to a township board meeting. But at some of these meetings, there's some wisecracks that come out of some of the folks that are involved there. And so we got involved in looking at some of the board policies. And there are policies with respect to harassing people, et cetera, but I found another one. Because of the value of independent advice of boards, commissions, and committees to the public decision-making process, members of the township board shall refrain from using their position to unduly influence the deliberation outcomes or recommendations of board, commissions, or committee proceedings. In the military, we call that keep your feet out of somebody else's mess kit. And the reason I bring that up is because there's a lot of anchor between this board and the township board, and it came up while Todd was running interference for you with this table stuff. And so that seemed to me to be an important policy that the township board should be looking at. So what I said was maybe to calm things down a little bit, a joint meeting between your commission and the township board. And tongue-in-cheek, we could have a facilitator paid by ARPA funds. But I found no takers on that side. We used to do that years ago. We used to have joint meetings in order to find out what issues were between the two groups so that you could kind of clear the air and understand where they were coming from, where you're coming from. I don't know if you want to do that or not, but it's something I laid on the table for the board, and I'm laying it on the table for you. Thank you.
Anybody else?
Well, I guess just thank you for voting that through. Yeah, really appreciate that. Yeah, and we're looking forward to having, more community, gatherings at the courts. And like I said, with only 2 permanent pickleball courts, it makes it really difficult for so many pickleball players not to be able to play because those courts are being taken up. So it would be really nice to have, at least, I would love to have 18 more courts, and I think we'd fill them up, but I know we can't afford that. But, it's just we'll be grateful for whatever we can get. So.
Well, it's definitely on our radar. We've got plans.
Yeah, to kind of backtrack and give you some history, it's been on our radar since we became a board. It's been on our list of one of the projects. About a year back, a little over a year back, last spring, Chaz and I had initially done the legwork and gotten a couple different bids from companies to get roughly a pricing idea, and that's where we had told you it's roughly at about $100,000, and that was for just resurfacing of the courts and then switching it from 2 tennis to 4 pickleball and 1 tennis court. So we know this project with Madigan Smith and how they have it drawn out is expanding it, completely redoing it and growing it. So the approval tonight is for Madigan Smith to oversee it, handle all that, because we don't have the time or the engineering or the knowledge behind it to get all of those pieces. So it's the first step, and it's the right step in the right direction, but it is just step 1. It's not new courts down yet.
No, not yet.
And then from here, it's still got to go to the main township board.
Correct.
As it costs more than $1,500, and we are not to make a decision greater than $1,500.
Are you going
without
to be
them.
presenting that at the next township meeting?
Not at the next one. I won't be in town.
Okay.
So it'll be the one after that. You're at the second meeting in August.
You want this on the second meeting in August?
Yeah, second meeting. Yeah, could you write that down?
Did you want to speak?
I was going to talk to you after.
Okay.
All right, well, thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Thank you all for coming. It was overwhelming. We never get this many people.
Ever.
It's wonderful. All right, commissioners, any comments? Anything? Andrew?
Sorry I was late.
No?
Nope.
No?
Nothing.
No? Nothing from me?
Country's fun, huh?
Anything else?
The
to
tables,
speak
you guys
to?
have the tables, so make sure one of you guys show up. And that's going to be at the next board meeting on the 1st.
On the 1st, okay.
All right, this I will get on the board for you guys for the second meeting in August, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And if you guys do want to have a meeting with the board, let me know.
Yeah,
And I'll bring it to them, see if they want to do it. So,
I know that's something we want to explore. A meeting with the township board, does that sound like fun?
I
no.
sounded that so well.
not against it.
I'm not against it.
If you guys want to, just let me know. You don't have to decide now.
It might
I'm just
help.
saying, throwing that out there if you
It
guys
might
want
help.
to.
Yeah.
It might help, yes. All right, we'll keep that in mind. All right.
Other than that, that's all I have.
Okay. Okay, and our next park meeting will be Monday, August 14th, 7 o'clock at Cars Grove.
Are we going back to Carr, or are we choosing another location?
I think by then it's going to be getting dark and we probably don't want to go to another park. I mean, it's up to you. Do you want to try one more?
Go to White.
Pavilion at
Yeah,
White.
fun.
Yeah.
What about Parmalee?
What number pavilion?
Ooh, Parmalee.
Parmalee?
Parmalee, freak out
Let's do
some kids.
Parmalee.
Parmalee.
All right, Parmalee.
You know, smell the weed.
Well, I mean, we can use the. I mean, we could.
Ooh, we could play disc
I think the
golf on our-
pavilion at Parmalee is probably our spot,
quick-
but
play
we
a
can
quick nine.
certainly intimidate all sorts of.
So I've got it noted August 14th, Parmalee Park. 7
Parmalee
p.m.
Park. All right, we're good. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Thank you again.
14th.